Tottenham fans, Chelsea game is just round the corner. I think the 2 week break came at the right time for us. Gives all our players a chance to get their morale up again, get their confidence back, all train together again and really try and go for this Europa League. Today I want to talk about how injuries can affect your season. And it's not just the injuries themselves, there's many other factors that go into it. And it's not just as simple as the players are back, we should be winning, or we have some injuries, it's no excuse. It's not a Premier League manager, this is real life. Injuries to even a couple of players, especially a huge part of your team, for example Romero and Van de Ven, can affect so many more things than just them being out. But an injuries to a large amount of players, which has happened to this season, can really snowball out of control, to be honest. It's not just the injuries themselves, there are many other factors that can make this all spiral. Before getting to this video, just remember, even though these players are elite players, even though they're playing in the Premier League and they're on lots of money, which I hear that a lot, they are still human beings. And this is what we need to keep remembering when social media and the media start taking over. So when you start losing your best players, the cohesion between the team gets affected from this. And so you got the two players coming in, let's name them, Davis and Dragushin coming in. Vicario was still playing at the time. So now Vicario's got to adapt to playing with two new centre-backs. And the two new centre-backs have got to adapt to playing with the midfielders in front of them. The cohesion's going to take an effect. This will lead to tactics not being implemented correctly due to nerves, mistakes and confidence to do the right thing. So now you're being put into that position and now you've got to do what Van de Ven and Romero were doing, but you know you are not on their level, but you're going to try to be on their level, and this will lead to more mistakes. Over trying can come into this. So I'm trying to look at the psychology of the players as well. They will over try, they will overcompensate because they're trying to mimic what Romero and Van de Ven are doing, because the psychology of the players can get a massive hit. They're going to hear things all the time in the media like, oh, without Van de Ven and Romero, Tottenham concede a lot more goals, Tottenham are more vulnerable, Tottenham are more open. They're going to hear this all the time, and that is also going to affect their own confidence. That's just with a couple of players missing. So what do I mean by the domino effect? I'll use Spurs again as an example. What happens to the two backup players? Now you've got Ben Davis and Dragushin. What happens to the play? We've just gone through that. Gone through what happens to the confidence, gone through what happens to the tactics. But what happens now if they have to play 2 games per week? What if they've made a few mistakes on the Thursday game? Then they're playing in the Premier League game, which is even higher standard. Their confidence is lower, they're making more mistakes, the fans are getting on their back, and the media's getting on their back. Then all of a sudden, they're worried too that what happens if they get injured? Then it's the next person in line to try to implement what Romero and Van de Ven was doing. They're not getting any rest, which again can lead to more injuries. There's no rotation, so they're getting tired. Even less motivation. And I know this sounds silly, but they're getting less motivated because they know they're going to be playing again. And they probably want the rest. They probably want the rotation. They probably want to be taken out of the limelight to readjust, sort out their mindset and come back again. But they have to keep playing. They have no choice because we've got injuries to main players. This will lead to a huge confidence loss. It will lead to more mistakes. And then this will lead to the fans getting on their back. And in between all of this, you will not get no sympathy from the media. The media will kick you while you're down. This will create fake narratives, over-exaggerate the problems and start pointing the finger at individuals and the manager. This will then be taken up by social media, who will then hear it, like other YouTubers for example, believe it and then spread it. And believe me, these players will hear this. These players are young. They will be on social media. They will hear everything that's being said. They shouldn't be listening to it. They get paid a lot of money, but they're human. So these things will affect them. Do you remember when the newspapers tried to really go against the England squad? Every time before there was a tournament, they would try and pull out individual players and try and ruin their home life and everything like this just before a tournament. They do it on purpose, I'm telling you. All of a sudden, you have a toxic atmosphere. Players who are now afraid to play at home in fear of making a mistake. Constant stories about the manager getting sacked. Even depression and anxiety can spread throughout the squad. But what happens, I hear you say, when the injured players come back? Injured players are coming back, so we should be winning. I hear that a lot. Well, there'd be a boost at first, obviously. But they're coming into a toxic atmosphere. The players around them are tired, with no belief, with low on confidence, anxiety. The players that are even coming back, they're not match fit yet. But they're expected to turn things round just like that because they're back now. They will have doubts themselves, thinking, what if I get injured again? Then I'm going to let the team down again. Things will go through their mind too. Remember, they're human. But also, they'll probably have the fear of, what if I'm trying to get back to full fitness, I make a mistake and I get booed and I get slated by the media. Then I get told I'm not good enough. They will feel the pressure of winning because now they're back. The media will spread things like, they are back, but why is Tottenham still not winning? They've got all their players, why are they not winning? They won't look into any context of psychology, what's happened before that, the confidence, the fans, getting on their back, obviously what they think about themselves, fear of getting injury. There's so many factors. The manager knows this as well, that winning is the only way to change all of this. The players know this. But desperation can also lead to bad performances. But you're so desperate to win. You'll be doing passes that you know you shouldn't be making, but you're trying to do a through pass when you should have just played it out on the wing. You'll be trying to tackle too hard and end up getting injured. And, you'll be making decisions you don't normally make because you're desperate to win. Even the best players in world football can be affected by this. I just have a question though. It don't matter if you're Ange out, and you're all welcome to your own opinion. I understand that. You can, criticise what you want to say, whatever you want to do. I'm not telling anybody what to do. It's their channels, whatever. But do you think these players have enough to deal with without us on their cases all the time, saying they're not good enough, get the manager sacked, and booing them after a poor performance at half time? I promise you, they will be given everything to win. But this game is lethal, especially at the highest level. And if you're not winning, things will really go against you. We have all our players back now. And the 2-week break, like I said earlier in the video, couldn't have come quick enough, in my opinion. They've got a chance now to train together, raise the morale. The manager gets to spend a lot of time with them, talking them through it, getting this confidence back. Again, winning's the only thing that's going to start breeding confidence. Winning breeds winning. That's the end of the story. It really is. And if Spurs can turn it around now after this international break, watch how the mindsets of the players change. Watch how the mindset of the fans change. Watch how the media will now start licking their asses, because they'll start saying, oh, what a wonderful team. And, it's very, very hard to just say, you've got injured players, that's no excuse. So many things snowball. Even your training lacks the quality, because you find yourself training with the youth team. So the quality of training has decreased. There's so many factors that will affect an injury-struck side. And even players coming back into the toxicity could just lead them to losing their confidence as well. And the whole thing will just fall apart. But the good news is, we've had the 2 weeks break. We've got a chance to repair the squad, repair the mindsets, and get going again. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video, and come on you Spurs!